Our minds are just constantly filled with noise. It is actually making you more exhausted. Being bored is what sparks creativity. I just wish social media was actually social. Hey, how y'all doing? I apologize for saying that I was gonna come back to YouTube a couple months ago. I made a video, posted, never came back after. So here we are. I think about you guys all the time. I think about YouTube all the time. And I'm always on YouTube. So I think I should make a comeback for real this time. YouTube is my favorite creative outlet. I just really want to come back for good. I am now in a more calmer stage in my life and I am going to make time for it. So here we are. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about I'm just going to be venting about how social media used to be fun. And I just wish social media would be fun again. I don't really have a script. I kind of just put random notes together, so I hope it doesn't just go all over the place. Yeah, I kind of just miss when social media used to be just posting random things. There weren't any influencers and nothing was about posting your highlight reel. It was kind of just posting good times, whether you were just posting the beach or you and your friends and anything like that. Also, when you would scroll, there would be an end. Back then, there used to be an end, and now there is no end. You can sit there and scroll until you die, to be honest. Like, you can. There would be no end. There's just so much out there. Doom scrolling, it's already been shown that it is not good for you. And I feel it. I don't know if you feel it, but I do not feel good when I come off of social media. I'll have a long day of work, I'll come home, sit in my bed, scroll, and do I feel good after? No. We come home after an exhausting day and think that laying down in bed scrolling is relaxing or is a break or is just something that will help us reset, but it is not. It is actually making you more exhausted because social media is giving you dopamine hits after little dopamine hits. You're actually getting more exhausted after scrolling than if you were to just sit there in silence or do a little stretch or a 10-minute walk or like a 10-minute clean reset even. If you're feeling exhausted all the time, that could be a reason other than, you know, life things like work or just overscheduling yourself. Outside of that, if you're constantly scrolling, it's not helping. I'm sorry, it's not helping. I just wish we could be in a time where we can all just let ourselves be bored again, because being bored is what sparks creativity and what sparks just joy in the mundane things. For example, if you didn't have a phone to constantly scroll through, maybe you'll fall back on watching shows more or TV or anything like that, but it comes to a point where you get bored and you want to clean and you want to cook, or maybe you want to do a hobby that you've been thinking about, or maybe you want to learn a language. A lot of these things were more possible when we let ourselves be bored, and nowadays we don't. Our minds are just constantly filled with noise, which is not healthy for us. Another thing that comes with boredom is individuality. With social media, you're constantly, I guess, being influenced into things and you don't let yourself be you. I mean, this doesn't go for everyone, but there is a lot of individuality once you are more in silence. You figure out more of your own style and you create your own thoughts rather than just constantly scrolling and getting ideas from other people. It is also just such a highlight reel. Everyone, and I know this isn't intentional, but most people are just posting their highlights. I'm not saying that it's bragging, but if you're scrolling, you're kind of just going through what people are bragging about, I guess. I wouldn't even say that's a correct term, and it's not always intentional. I wouldn't even, maybe bragging is not the right word. I just wish social media was actually social and you can follow, you only see your friends' posts. I feel like TikTok is what ruined that, because now there are reels and just endless scrolling. I know there is a section on Instagram where you can just go to the people that you follow, but even then I just feel like there's just so much content. There's never really an end. In general, we were not meant to consume this much information. That is another thing with being exhausted all the time. We weren't meant to consume all these information. We're getting to see like what Sarah did on Tuesday afternoon. You're getting to see, I'm just making up names now, what your other friend did, and you're seeing like hundreds of people. And that's just stories. I'm talking about like Instagram stories or just scrolling. But when you go on TikTok, you're getting hit with all of this information, whether it's news. Actually, this happens on Instagram too. Whether it's news or just content that makes you happy, content that makes you sad, content that makes you angry, content that makes you stressed, content that makes you worried. And you could get all of those feelings within a couple of minutes, and that is not meant for us. That is not meant for our brain. I have been taking some more time off of social media. I delete my apps on the weekdays. Now it's been some time where I don't miss it as much, and I just notice things more. I just notice how it makes me feel after and how much more I can get done. I believe that social media and just your phone in general could be taking you away from your fullest potential. Maybe social media is a creative outlet. I'm on YouTube right now speaking to you guys. I just mean like this short form content. When something is longer form, like YouTube, I guess there's YouTube Shorts, but if you are to stray away from shorts, if you're watching longer form content, it is better for you. You're not taking in a lot of different pieces of information. It's kind of just like one story. So for me, YouTube doesn't count. And I know that's controversial. Some people think it does, some people think it doesn't. When I first quit social media, I actually kept YouTube and Pinterest on my phone, and I found myself scrolling through Pinterest a lot, and as well as checking my emails. I began to realize when I do go on Pinterest, although I do love the ideas it brings to me, I found that I am just looking through things and I'm like, oh, I want that. Oh, I wish I had that. And I know this doesn't go for everyone, but it is something that happens. You can't just look at all this stuff and not compare yourself. So I actually have reframed Pinterest in a different way. How I like to do it is I made an album and I looked up pieces in my closet that I have, and I made an album with it so I could try different ways of clothing. It just sucks when you do go on it less, and I don't think I'm better than anyone because I'm on it less, but it just sucks when you are out of that habit and you go out into the world and you just see everyone on their phones constantly. I just feel like we are kind of wasting our lives. This topic gets me teary-eyed. It just sucks when you're like looking out and you just see people wasting hours and hours a day on social media. And I know people can do whatever they want or live however they live. I just don't think everyone realizes how harmful it is. I also think it takes away humans. We are social by nature. And I know there are a lot of other factors that go into this, such as it's been expensive to step out of your house, but we are stepping out of our house less and just scrolling instead. This is okay sometimes. Sometimes we need to be alone, but it is found that a lot of people are moving away from socializing and going on their phones instead. I guess I just miss like community aspect and all of that. I just miss when I would go to a concert when I was 18 and there was no one really recording on their phones to post on social media. It was like some people with GoPros or everyone just enjoying their moment and maybe a couple people on their phones recording, but it was never for, oh my god. I also feel that now that I have been on my phone less, I have gone through a little bit of a dopamine detox, and I notice a lot of things, such as just so many things being thrown at us. News, advertisements, even scrolling on social media. I feel like everything, not everything, but a lot of things are just ads. And now there's even AI where you can't tell if something is AI or not. It's just getting so good. And I do hope that AI kind of not takes over, but fatigues people from social media. And I don't mean that everyone just needs to get off. I just wish it was I just wish it was used less. Or used with more intention of being social again. If you do find yourself scrolling on social media often and you are trying to stop, I think a good way is setting days to scroll as well as a time limit. Like I said, I delete my apps Monday through Friday. Every once in a while, I will re-download it back if I'm waiting on a message from someone. But other than that, I don't scroll, and I delete the apps off my phone. I re-download it on Saturdays and Sundays. Actually, nowadays, I re-download it, scroll for a little bit, and then I delete the apps again because I just do not feel good on it. I don't... Like, guys, do you remember on Instagram when we would post literally like the beach or our toes in the sand or our hands in the sand with the Valencia filter? Anyways, I just miss when social media didn't feel like a competition of who bought a house, who is going to the most events, who is having the most fun, who's traveling everywhere. I know when I post on social media, I only post when I go somewhere, like when I travel somewhere, but that's because those are my favorite photos, and in between those times I lock in. Anyways, I just wanted to do a little talk with you guys and what's been on my mind. There have actually been a lot of things on my mind, so I will be posting a lot more. So bye guys, I will see you in the next one.